Two security guards gripped her arms as guests watched in silence, recording, judging, assuming. She stood in the middle of the lobby she had designed, being dragged out like a trespasser. The manager barked orders, blind to the truth. This wasn't a guest causing a scene. This was the woman who owned the building. And in exactly 9 minutes, every person who had stood by would learn who she really was. This isn't just about one woman, it's about power, perception, and payback. Comment your city we're watching with you. Asterisk, it was a bright Monday morning when Camille Jordan, a 34-year-old self-made CEO, walked into her luxury hotel just like she did every week. With a degree from Harvard and years of grit behind her, she had built this 5-star oasis from the ground up. Guests praised the sleek design, staff admired her leadership, and investors called her a rising force in hospitality. But today felt off as she entered the lobby dressed in her usual all-black style, simple, elegant, powerful. She noticed subtle glances from new employees she hadn't met. A few whispered, one frowned. Camille brushed it off. Her focus was on an upcoming investor call, not the strange tension humming in the air. She had no idea that within minutes, she'd be standing in the same lobby, publicly humiliated, doubted, and disrespected in her own empire. And the most shocking part, it wouldn't be a stranger who triggered it. Camille made her way to the front desk, greeted the concierge, and asked for the morning reports. But the young man behind the counter stiffened. His eyes narrowed. "Can I help you, ma'am?" he asked, clearly not recognizing her. She introduced herself, brief, professional, but the staffer's expression didn't change. Instead, he muttered something under his breath and called for the manager. Within minutes, the general manager, a newly hired white man Camille had only met once, stormed out from the back office. "This area is for staff and guests only," he snapped, ignoring her outstretched hand. She calmly repeated her name, her position, but he cut her off. "I don't care who you say you are. You're not on any approved list. You need to leave." Guests began to stare. Phones tilted subtly. Staff members looked down, silent. Camille's heart pounded not with fear, but fury. She opened her email to show her ownership documents, but he waved it off, demanding security escorts her out. As two guards approached, she stood her ground, eyes locked on his. She could feel the weight of history pressing down on her. How many black women had been told they didn't belong, even in spaces they built? She said nothing yet. She let the silence stretch, forcing everyone in that lobby to feel the discomfort. She had lived with her entire life, but what none of them knew was that Camille wasn't just going to walk away. She was about to make history. Security flanked Camille, each gripping her arms like she was a criminal. The manager pointed to the door, his voice raised, commanding her to leave before the police are called. Phones were out, NOG asked, recording what they assumed was a disruptive visitor. Camille's heart burned, not with fear, but with generations of anger. She had built this empire, paid every salary, designed every inch of the lobby. They were dragging her out of bed. Just as the doors swung open, a senior investor, one who recognized her, stepped through. His jaw dropped. "Camille, what the hell is going on?" The guards froze. The manager stuttered, and the silence that followed cut sharper than any insult. That's when Camille turned and said 6 words that would change everything. "If this moment hit you hard, like this video, it tells us you're watching." Camille didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. With a calm, unwavering tone, she introduced herself again, this time with the investor beside her. The silence turned into stunned apologies. But it was too late. Within the hour, the manager and every staff member who stood by in silence were dismissed. Camille called it a reset, not out of revenge, but to remind everyone respect isn't optional. Word of the incident spread, sparking national headlines and difficult conversations. For Camille, it was never just about her. It was about every black woman ever told she didn't belong. This wasn't just one bad decision. It was a mirror held up to a system. So ask yourself, how many times must someone prove they own the space they're already in? Subscribe for more true stories that challenge the world, and tell us your thoughts in the comments below.